Hello everybody, it is Pezz here with another informative guide. It's been a long time where I've just been pulling my hair out getting 12 pulled, because who wants to execute an excellent defense against an all-in build opener and be even in a game? I mean, I know there's a lot of Protoss players out there who hate being even after holding a 12 pull. But with the current response, with the 2-gate response, that's kind of how it goes. If anything, you might get a slight lead with your counter pressure, but it's pretty much just going into a standard opening. Now, I'm of the mindset that we can do better as Protoss players, and that there are better, cleaner defenses. And I'm going to show you how to defend a 12 pull economically. And ever since I've been doing this, I used to be afraid of playing it against the 12 pull. It would throw off my builds, put me into a position I don't want to play from. But with this economic defense, I do not feel like that anymore. I feel quite confident against 12 pulls that I'm always going to end up ahead. So let's turn the sound down a bit. It's a bit too noisy. We're just going to start off with our standard gate scout this game, and when we get to his base we're going to see no hatchery. The pull's already done when you get to his base, so you know it's 12 pull. Alright, 6 slingers coming. Now this is where my build is going to differentiate already from the 2-gate defense. I haven't changed anything right now. I've saturated the gas a bit extra just because I like to have a bit more gas with this defense, so you can start your warp gate straight away. But I'll show you exactly all that. Not going to block the hatchery. Alright, this is actually important with this build. With this defense, it's important not to block the hatchery. What you're going to do is you're going to hide your probe. The reason for that is we're taking a Nexus, alright? 19 supply Nexus. We're not delaying a Nexus in this defense. So we're cutting one probe. So on 19 supply, cutting a probe, hiding our scouting probe, and taking a Nexus on 19 supply, alright? As soon as we take that Nexus, we're going to start a Zealot, right? Before our Cybercore. Really important we get that Zealot started straight away when that gate finishes. Right, we're going to be on 21 supply, so we're going to have another supply for a Zealot. So we're going to be able to build 2 Zealots. Now, what's the reason we hide this probe instead of hatch blocking? First of all, with a 2-gate defense build, you can afford a pylon block, and I think it is a good thing to do. But with this build, you cannot afford the pylon block. Obviously, you're getting a Nexus, so you need a lot more minerals. Second thing is, this defense, what is it going to die to? It's going to die to a drain pull, right? So what we're doing right here is with this probe, this is a bad example because I know this player, so I knew he wasn't going to drain pull. But with this probe, we're going to hide it, and we're immediately going to come back in after 130, 133 or so. So his links have already gone out, and we're going to check for the hatchery, right? If the hatchery is cancelled, then we're going to cancel our Nexus, drop a Forge and another Gateway. We're going to full ball and build cannons, right? It's really serious, they just drain pulled. Obviously you can walk into their base to confirm there's no drains as well. But that's what we're going to do with our probe. Now back to the build order, we've started our Zealot. As soon as we have minerals for it, we're going to make our Cybercore. And when we've made our Cybercore, we're going to start Chrono boosting our Zealots, I believe. Okay. So when this Zealot's about to spawn, we're going to pull 4 more probes from our main. And we're going to build a pylon. So when the Zealot's about to spawn, build your pylon and pull 4 probes. Excuse me. And you're going to see here, I'm going to have another Zealot started. Now this bit's important. Rally your Zealot behind your mineral line. You don't want it spawning here and spawning here and getting surrounded instantly. Some micro tips here. All we're trying to do is defend our gateway. Right? He's going to pressure our gateway, and every time he attacks it, we're going to threaten a fight and we're going to pull back. We don't want to actually take a fight at all, really. If he wants to take a fight, let him come to us. We don't want to take the fight unless our gateway is really low. Another micro tip, I put my probes on a separate hotkey from my zealot, so I have everything on one, and then I have my probes on a separate hotkey. This allows me to A-move everything, and then if I need to pull back the probes, I can just click 2 and right-click back a bit, and then A-move again. So if the lings are attacking probes and a zealot, what that's going to do is if the lings are A-moving, it's going to force all the lings to go back onto the zealot when you pull the probes back, and then you're going to come back in with the A-move, and the probes are going to be attacking without taking damage. And the zealot is not going to be surrounded, right, because you have probes all around it. So that's your goal with the micro in this scenario. And we're going to rally our second zealot behind, as I said. And while you're doing this, you're making probes. Second zealot spawns. He's pressuring the gateway. I don't want my gateway to die, but it's still looking fairly healthy, so I'm not rushing it, okay? The adept's going to spawn. This is going to be fine, so let him come to me. And now he wants to take the fight, alright. So let's see how this goes. We're just going to A-move. See, we pull the probes back. I don't know how many. I think I lost one worker there. And then A-move with the probes again after pulling them back. That zealot gets a bit surrounded. So you can see, first of all, I'm making a few micro mistakes here. And second of all, this guy, he makes 12 lings instead of 10. So his 12 pull is actually a bit trickier to hold even. So this is a good example of you can hold even 12 lings. Because the standard is to make 10. And I mean, this is Hell's now. So let's take a look at the scenario, right? If you went for a 2-gate defense right now, you would have some more units spawning, sure. But your Nexus would not be started. You would be starting your Nexus right now. In my defense right here, my Nexus is done. My Nexus is completely done. And from here you can do whatever you want, you know. You can take your gases and tech if you'd like. But the thing that I like to do, because I'm on 1 gas, is I like to chrono warp gate, and I'll show you my follow-up, because it's actually... I just have not ended up behind against a 12 pull with this follow-up. Alright, let's look at 12 pulls, right? They have no gas, no speed. So what does this mean? It means you can get a proxy pylon up pretty much for free. Like, there's nothing they can do. You can just micro adepts to get the proxy pylon up. So we're going to chrono boost warp gate and go for 3 gates and pull a probe for a proxy pylon. And I'll show you exactly why I think this is so good as well, is that Zerg players, they can't make units and drones necessarily as well as we can. So I'm probing this whole time. I'm not stopping probes, and I'm also making units at the same time, so I'm forcing him to make lings. He doesn't have speed, so he can't actually get a wraparound on my adepts. And you know, most Zergs will be droning, and so I will shade the 5 adepts into a crack here, and I'll just sit them there and shade back out and keep warping in adepts and trade really efficiently. But in this case, he wasn't draining, and you can see that with your shade. Whoops, you can see that with your shade, and so there's no reason to commit. And behind our 3 gates, we still have enough gas for the Twilight. So we're just going to sit here, you know, and if you look at the probe count right now, it's insane. I mean, he's completely all in. He knows about this pylon, you know, but the only thing he can do to hold it is mass produce units. Hope I overextend and he can catch them all. But in this situation, I mean, there's really nothing he can do. I'm just waiting for glaives, and when I get my glaives, the game's gonna be over, right? So as long as I just trade okay here, I win. Just look at that worker count. And I mean, usually the Zergs aren't going to make this many units, but you're just going to be so in their face with your adepts that they're just going to end up so behind. So that's the follow-up, but the main point of this video was the initial defense. I hope that some of you guys are going to actually try this instead of the 2-gate defense. This defense is a bit trickier, requires a bit more micro. You need to be really on point with your build You need to be probe scouting for the drone pull. But if you do all those things right, I mean, hopefully those complaints about, you know, being in an even game against 12 pull, they go away, because this is awesome. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video and found it informative, and good luck with your ladder sessions.